Hi everyone, I'm Bronwyn and this is Michelle, and we are both members of the Horrelac Gut and Microbiome Clinic here at Gould's. So we thought we'd take the opportunity to introduce ourselves and just have a little chat. Michelle and I both obviously love all things gut health, and we see a wide range of clients with all manner of different gut issues. But one area that we see quite a lot of and that we both are really passionate about is women going through that perimenopausal and menopause transition. We both see and treat a lot of women going through that stage. And, Michelle, tell me what you think, but when we think about that time of life, which can be anywhere from like mid-30s up to, 60s and beyond, mostly you just think kind of hormones, hot flushes, insomnia, anxiety, those sort of symptoms, and probably don't talk so much about the gut health component of it. Because we know as we lose the estrogen and those ovarian hormones, it affects our gut microbiome, and our microbiome becomes less diverse, which can lead then to all sorts of gut issues or exacerbate existing gut issues for women. Do you see a fair bit of that, Michelle?
Oh, absolutely. It's such a time of transition. I mean, we do, like, I agree, we tend to focus on the hormonal aspect and how that's driving some of these symptoms, but really that the gut does play a huge role in all of this. And that's why, we love working in this space, because we see what we can actually do to help address some of these symptoms, minimize the impact that they have on quality of life. For example, just certain gut bugs can impact the way that we metabolize estrogen. So depending on the levels of estrogen that we have, and the bugs that are there, it's called the estrobolome, big word, but
estrobolome.
They can determine on how much circulating estrogen we do have in the body. And so particularly going through perimenopausal, that postmenopausal phase, where there's a lot of fluctuations in estrogen and progesterone and hormones, that can be actually quite significant. And if you can work with someone to help, modulate their gut bacteria to help as far as metabolizing effectively these hormones, in addition to help clearing them through the bowel, like eliminating, making sure they're, going to the toilet.
No constipation here.
Exactly. So that's why, it's something that should definitely be on everyone's radar, going through this time of change. And, I know, Bronwyn, you deal a lot with women going through this particular change in terms of looking at levels of systemic inflammation and the way that impacts the body. So tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so, with that loss of diversity in the microbiome and the other effects of losing those ovarian hormones, or them starting to fluctuate, estrogen fluctuating wildly and progesterone on a steady decline, some of the effects of that can be things like systemic inflammation, which then lends more towards cardiometabolic conditions. And we know that going through menopause, women, their risks for cardiovascular disease and metabolic issues come up in line with men. So, all the more reason to make sure the microbiome and our gut health is absolutely optimum, because that's what's going to help protect us and lower our risk of those diseases into our future. And it's even as, sorry, Michelle, I was just going to say, it's even as nuanced as that change in the microbiome can even affect the uptake of calcium from the gut. And we know how important that is for bone mineral density. And during the menopausal transition, that's when women will have a sharp decline in bone mineral density. And we want to make sure that those nutrients are replete and being absorbed and being directed actually into the bones. So the gut microbiome has a huge role to play there as well. So the effects are so far reaching.
Exactly. And I was just going to say, as far as, another area of focus of mine is the connection between gut health and autoimmune conditions. And in such a big period of hormonal change, we are more susceptible in this life stage to developing autoimmune conditions like sort of thyroid conditions, inflammatory skin conditions. There can be a whole host of things that can come out of just this transition, and you can actually work with the gut and reducing inflammation and addressing things like intestinal permeability or hyperpermeability to really see some changes coming through as far as reducing the inflammation and reducing that sort of severity of that disease process, which can really impact quality of life for a lot of people.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, so there's so much to it, isn't there? And it's an area, I guess, that's been really under addressed to this point, but yeah, we've both seen in our own practice the amazing impact that modulating the microbiome can have at this stage of life, not only in reducing menopausal symptoms and perimenopausal symptoms, but in reducing risk of some of those other chronic disease states that we've just mentioned. So yeah, one of our favorite areas. You can see why.
Yeah, so hopefully that's given you a bit more information about the things that we look at and treat in the clinic regularly, and an area of focus for both Bronwyn and I.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. See you again soon.
Bye.